Taliban warriors. A few months ago, they fought against foreign troops in Afghanistan. Now they hide behind pieces of cloth. They don't want to be recognized because they left their former comrades and are afraid of the consequences. We laid down our arms because it's the best thing for us. Allah will be pleased, and there will be no more innocent bloodshed. For 5 months, we've worked on a peace accord. If you honor the peace accord, we promise the foreign troops and the government that all the Taliban will surrender. But so far, you haven't managed to fulfill the Taliban's wishes. Kabul, last month. It's now 5 years since the fundamentalist Taliban regime in Afghanistan was toppled. But many women still don't dare go outside without a burqa. The Taliban cared little for women's rights, and they destroyed everything that wasn't Islamic. Allah is great. Although the Taliban has been chased out of the capital Kabul, they're far from beaten, and sometimes they can still be glimpsed. It seems that there are still remnants of the Taliban in Kabul itself. Through an English-speaking intermediary, we're invited to a secret address. Our equipment is checked at the gate, but once we're in, we're made to feel welcome.
Hi, Peter.
Hello. Sorry.
How are you?
Hello.
These are journalists from the Netherlands. They want to make a documentary about Afghanistan. We are meeting the former Minister of Education of the Taliban government, the Minister of Refugees, and the official Taliban representative at the UN in New York. He's doing most of the talking.
We had very close relation with the Taliban because Taliban was religious students and they were religious teachers. So we had a kind of relations between the teacher and the students. We were close to them.
The former Taliban ministers are partly responsible for destroying statues and the suppression of women. But now they're trying to distance themselves from the past.
We separated our line from the Taliban because of our frustration from them. So in the whole regime, we were working for reforms among the Taliban. We were not agree with all of the policies of the Taliban, actually.
The former Taliban officials are now protected by the present Afghan government because they distance themselves from the past, but they still seem sympathetic towards their former comrades.
They have been cornered. They do not have see any place for them to be protected. Not in Afghanistan, not outside Afghanistan, not in the United States, not in any other country. They think that we are being followed. We are being persecuted, so we have to fight. This is the only way for them to fight and fight.
What motivates these Taliban warriors? An Afghan NGO persuades a group of defectors to talk to us. 5 months ago, these men were fighting foreign troops in the south of Afghanistan. We used to fire rockets at them. One of the men claims to be the commander of this group. According to him, they've been fighting the Americans. He seems to be full of confidence and has a list of demands for the government. We put down our arms to secure our safety. Our safety has to be guaranteed. If one of us is ill, we want him to be treated right. And the comrades who were imprisoned should be released. Peace means that we have to make an effort, and so do you. In the last year, the Taliban has grown stronger, especially in the south of Afghanistan. According to the commander, the Taliban is still supported by the Afghan people because of the brutal actions of foreign troops. We're critical of the foreign soldiers' attitude. They search houses at will. Our customs are different. If they have to conduct operations in our villages, they should contact the local people. Foreigners should not just enter our houses without permission. Afghan people get angry about these things. If they want a safe Afghanistan, they have to work according to our values. They have to invest in Afghanistan and support the peace process. Then the Taliban will cooperate. The commander says it's not only the foreign troops who are a problem. He says the corrupt Afghan authorities are another reason the people side with the Taliban. Until now, the Afghan people's wishes have been ignored. The government suppresses the people. The government doesn't have complete control over its civil servants. Nobody cares if thieves are employed. High officials are not being scrutinized. My governor can do whatever he wants. The people have always been suppressed, and for the past 5 years, nothing has been done. There are laws against corruption, but not at local level. That's why people are joining the Taliban. The former Taliban officials are in hiding in a secret place and are being protected by the government.
Do you think that there could be forces, maybe outside of the government, who would say, well, you cooperated with the Taliban, you should be judged?
We are not afraid from any court, we will stand. But we will again say that if the international community and the international court, they are fighting one fighter group and supporting another one, creating problems, creating ambiguous situation, it is not in their favor, I think.
These men feel confident they will never go to court. Last month, their former Taliban comrades assassinated a whole family because they were teaching girls at school. They deny that the Taliban has anything to do with such atrocities. The Taliban never did that. According to Islam, lying is forbidden. The Taliban are falsely accused of all sorts of things. When something gets stolen, they say, it was the Taliban. And ordinary murders are also blamed on us. The Taliban live under their own laws and policies. Even though now, just like the government, we are dissatisfied with the Taliban. The Taliban doesn't want to kill foreigners, but they oppose cooperation with the government and the peace process. That's why the Taliban is after us. I hope the government appreciates our initiative and will not bother us as they do the Taliban. According to the commander, any cooperation with the government depends on how he and his men are treated.
Are there a lot of Taliban who want to join the program, but who don't dare, maybe?
The Taliban looks at concrete results. We've been negotiating a peace accord. I convinced 250 men to join me. For example, this man, who came from far away to join us. But 6 of our people are still in jail. So if I go back now, I will tell my people, the peace accord is worthless. If the government really listens to the people, everyone will put down their weapons and join a peace agreement.